I bet that if I asked you right now to tell me the toxic traits of your best friend, you probably could. Can you also identify the toxic traits of your parents, of your spouse? Now, here's the tougher question. Do you know your own toxic traits? Your toxic traits. Have you chosen to take the time to do the self-reflection needed to figure them out? Have you asked people you trust? I'm Sage, I'm a growth coach, and the topic today is normalize that you have some toxic traits too. And how can recognizing our toxic traits improve our life? Well, it provides us with a starting point. Just like if you signed up to work with a personal trainer at the gym, your first couple sessions are all going to be about, designing and investigating and establishing your baseline. So, what are your measurements? Where's your strength level at? And then recording all that so that then you have a place to set goals from. So if you don't actually look inside yourself and investigate your toxic traits so that you can set that baseline, how do you know where you want to improve? And it also helps us to identify the unhealed parts of us. We went through a lot as kids on this planet. And it could have been very traumatic things that we just shoved down because we didn't know any better. So where are still some of those things that are unhealed? Also, recognizing those toxic traits can keep us humble, real, compassionate, empathetic, because no one is perfect. So here's a couple quotes on this topic. Some people are in such utter darkness that they will burn you to see the light. Try not to take it personally. Command Kajori. And notice your toxic traits and begin the process of realizing how your trauma affects your behavior. If you continue to recycle the pain, the cycles of the same situation are going to happen again. Sparkly war tanks. Okay, couple questions for you. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how well have you identified your toxic traits? And how could this identifying level you up as a human being? 4 today. I got 4 for you. 4 ways to better identify your toxic traits. Number 1, quiet self-reflection. If you always have noise around you and you're always, on some social media site or watching TV and you never take any time to actually just turn off the noise and get in here, and actually ask yourself some questions, how are you going to figure this stuff out? Number 2, ask people you trust. Okay? Ask people you trust. This is a bit tricky because you might not be able to ask the people closest to you because they have their own agenda for you. So you might have to ask somebody who's a little bit removed from you that you really love deeply and you know are going to be honest with you. Because being honest about toxic traits is a hard thing to do. Number 3, pay attention to your emotions. The things that trigger us the most are often unhealed parts of us. So if you get super fired up and angry about something, that's probably an unhealed place. If you feel like you're about ready to break into tears, that's probably an unhealed place. And number 4, what often annoys you the most about others? This one gives me goosebumps because it's kind of scary, right? If you're annoyed by certain traits in others, it's often related to unhealed parts of ourselves. Oh, Judgy Judgerson. Maybe you need to turn that figure around because it's something unhealed in you or it wouldn't bother you. So circling around, normalize that you have some toxic traits too. And how can you use these 4 ways to better identify your toxic traits? All right, I've got an intention for you today. I choose to spend quality time learning more about myself to help me continue to grow. I'm Sage. I'm a growth coach, and ooh, that's a good one. All of us could do this one, right? All of us. It's time for a little self-reflection, I think. Let's figure out some of these things and let's be better versions of ourselves, and let's do it together in this growth community. I appreciate every minute you're here. Join me at growingsagejourney.com or join me at Sage Robinson Miller on YouTube. And thanks for joining me today. Love ya.